Chapter 1077. Polar Reversal. Zhang Yi laughed off Zhu Zheng's tricks. He was extremely defensive and even until now, he was always on guard. Of course, he would not accept the sugar-coated bullet sent by Zhu Zheng. Fortunately, he brought Fatty Sue with him this time so that he could digest it for him. Then, other people came over and congratulated Zhang Yi on his successful promotion to Ypsilon. They were all old acquaintances such as Deng Shintong and Ling Hu Feishue, as well as Bailey Chongqing and a group of members of the Tengu team. Ling Hu Feishue was still upset about Zhang Yi's concealment of the truth and did not give Zhang Yi a very good face. Zhang Yi was too lazy to care about her and turned around to greet Deng Shintong enthusiastically. "Old Deng, why didn't your uncle come? Speaking of which, I haven't seen him for a long time. I was thinking of visiting him later." Deng Shintong looked at Zhang Yi deeply when he heard the words, and then stole a casual glance at Zhu Zheng. Sure enough, Zhu Zheng's expression underwent some subtle changes. As the supreme commander of Blizzard City, he certainly didn't want Zhang Yi to get too close to other forces. And Zhang Yi deliberately mentioned Deng Yuanhua in front of so many people, which was also a warning to Zhu Zheng. Everyone knew each other's thoughts in their hearts. It's just that you have to understand some rules of the game, so that others won't treat you as an amateur. Deng Shintong said to Zhang Yi with a smile, "My uncle has always talked about you, saying that you are a genius. It's lucky that you are in the Jiangnan district." Lan Xinqing came over at this time and interrupted the conversation between the two. He bowed slightly to Zhang Yi and said with a flattering smile, "Captain Chaos, you have come a long way and worked hard. It's freezing outside. Why don't you go to the tea house in the command center to rest?" Zhang Yi's purpose of coming here was also to find Zhu Zheng and Juyu. However, there were too many people here, and he did not find a figure similar to Juyu next to Zhu Zheng. Zhang Yi nodded. "That's fine." He pointed at Fatty Sue, who was surrounded by beauties, and said, "My friend came with me. He is a rough man, so don't come to disturb the leader. Just arrange a place for him to rest." Fatty Sue was so happy that his face was full of silly smiles. "Hee, it's over. I'm surrounded by beauties." Zhu Zheng gave a look, and someone immediately came over to wait for orders. Zhu Zheng said, "Arrange a place for Mr. Sue. Let him rest well and comfortably." The subordinates understood and immediately went to invite Fatty Sue and the girls to leave by car. Zhang Yi and Zhu Zheng took Zhu Zheng's special car to the new combat command center. After getting in the car, Zhang Yi asked, "Where is your goddaughter?" Zhu Zheng said, "Her current condition is still unstable, and she spends most of her time in the laboratory." Zhang Yi smiled meaningfully. "The most advanced technology in the entire Blizzard City is all on her, right?" Zhu Zheng certainly heard the ridicule in Zhang Yi's words. This was a complaint about Zhu Zheng, who gave the best resources to Juyu, but was stingy with Zhang Yi. He smiled bitterly and said, "We did have a plan to create an Ypsilon. Zhang Yi, you also know that among the 6 regions of Huaxu, our Huaxu is relatively backward. Before you, our strength might even be the last. There is no way. The Central Plains region has always been an important place for economic and agricultural development. In the past, we had no external risks and did not need to develop military strength. But now, the situation has changed suddenly, and no one can predict it." He looked at Zhang Yi. "I have to have my own team, right?" Zhang Yi raised his eyebrows and was indifferent to Zhu Zheng's complaints. "Yes, you are right." This careless tone made Zhu Zheng feel helpless. "I admit that there were indeed some restrictions on your resource supply at the beginning. But that also has something to do with you. You have always been outside Blizzard City. How can I rest assured to devote all my resources to train you?" Zhang Yi was a little impatient. These old men always like to educate young people in a fatherly way. Zhu Zheng thought he knew a lot about PUA, but he didn't know that young people of Zhang Yi's generation didn't like to be preached. "You have your rules, and I have my ideas. So there's no point in talking about this. I don't need to understand your difficulties, right?" Zhu Zheng's breathing stagnated. In the past, who would dare to talk to him like this? But now that Zhang Yi's wings are strong, he already has the capital to talk to him on an equal footing, and Zhu Zheng can do nothing about it. He thought about it, stretched out his hand and clicked on the smart device on his wrist, and then a list appeared in front of Zhang Yi. Well, I'll talk to you in a way you like. Zhang Yi. The supplies on this list are my sincerity. I hope you can put aside the past and continue to support me in the future. Zhang Yi saw the list, and his eyes suddenly became focused. He just glanced at it and found that it was indeed a huge sincerity. Food, daily necessities, weapons and equipment, medicines, all kinds of supplies are available. He swiped his hand, and there was a long list below. The unit of each item of supplies is not kg, but T. Zhang Yi thought to himself, this Lao Bankai is quite sensible, and he showed enough sincerity this time. He roughly estimated that these supplies would account for at least 20% of the reserves of the entire Blizzard City. This time Zhuzheng is definitely bleeding heavily. Oh no, strictly speaking, it is Blizzard City that is bleeding heavily. Zhang Yi is actually quite satisfied in his heart, but he does not show it on the surface. I am not actually short of these things, Zhang Yi said lightly. He also has most of the ordinary supplies. However, Zhang Yi does not have some special medicines and large weapons and equipment. But he has to say this before we can talk about the next thing. When Zhuzheng heard what Zhang Yi said, the corners of his eyes twitched. He has shown such great sincerity, and Zhang Yi is still not satisfied? He suppressed his temper, looked at Zhang Yi and said, you are indeed capable of getting a lot of supplies now, but there are some things that only our military has, and you can't get them from other places. Zhang Yi raised his lips and said, you are right, some things do need to be taken from you. But there is nothing I want to see in this list. Zhuzheng was relieved when he heard this. It's easy to deal with if Zhang Yi has clear needs, but I'm afraid that a person has no desires. Well, what do you want? Zhang Yi patted his thigh and said slowly, I want to improve the overall combat power of Tianhai City. So I need you to provide technology and drugs for training aliens. In addition, I need to get your most cutting-edge weapons technology. That's the kind of technology that can convert alien energy into weapons. Well, I don't know what that is. But I know you must have it. Chapter 1078. Meet again. When Zhang Yi mentioned these things, Zhuzheng's face immediately became serious. Weapons are easy to talk about, but genetic technology is the core secret of Blizzard City. If it is leaked, Zhang Yi may even create a new Blizzard City. Zhuzheng has no intention of being a co-author with Zhang Yi. He thought about it and said to Zhang Yi, genetic technology is the core secret of Huaxu country. It is unlikely that you will get it, and other regions will not allow it. But if you just want to help the aliens in Tianhai City improve their strength, we can help you with this. As for the weapon technology you mentioned, it is the most advanced energy storage laser weapon technology at present. This, well, I can meet your needs. After all, you are the strongest fighter in my Jiangnan region, and I am happy to see you become stronger. Zhang Yi drooped his eyelids and had no expression on his face. Zhuzheng's answer was as he expected. Weapons can be given to you, but genetic technology is impossible to give. Then give me more genetic drugs. Tianhai City is too dangerous now. You know, I have offended many countries this time. They all hate me now. What if they attack Tianhai City when I am not here one day? I have to let the people around me have the ability to protect themselves. This time, Zhuzheng agreed quite readily. Giving technology is not possible, but giving drugs is not a difficult task. However, if he knew that Zhang Yi's family had aliens who could analyze the composition of drugs and professional talents in the medical field, I wonder if he would change his mind. With the current abilities of Liu Karen and Zhou Qier, it is entirely possible to imitate such drugs after spending a certain amount of time. After not talking about feelings and only talking about interests, Zhang Yi and Zhuzheng's communication was obviously much more pleasant. From beginning to end, Zhang Yi did not even mention the fact that Jingwei was monitoring him. Zhuzheng also did not mention that Zhang Yi secretly ran away, took the source of God, and deceived everyone, letting Zhuzheng take the blame. Some things are better when everyone knows them in their hearts. Since there will be no quarrel, all problems can be discussed, and they are just bargaining chips on the negotiating table. Smart people don't need to argue about this. It's still real money. I want to meet your goddaughter. Zhang Yi mentioned it again. Zhuzheng heard it and sighed heavily again. She doesn't like to meet outsiders. It can be seen that Zhu Zheng didn't want Zhang Yi to meet Juyu. But Zhang Yi insisted, I'm not an outsider. Strictly speaking, she and I are old acquaintances. Zhu Zheng had no choice but to say to Zhang Yi, okay, I'll take you to see her later. Zhang Yi followed Zhu Zheng to the newly built Combat Command Center building. Zhu Zheng took Zhang Yi to the Scientific Research Department. Zhang Yi met Li Lingxue, the director of the Scientific Research Department and chief expert. She put her hands in the pockets of her white coat, wore a pair of thick black-framed glasses, and her hair was casually rolled up with a ballpoint pen. The proportions of her facial features looked very symmetrical, but there was a thick circle of dark circles under her eyes, giving people the feeling that she didn't get enough sleep every day. Zhu Shui and chaos? Welcome, welcome. Li Lingxue walked over lazily, using polite words. Zhu Zheng had long been accustomed to her attitude, and smiled. Where is Juyu? Zhang Yi wants to see her. Li Lingxue said. She is playing. Zhang Yi, playing. Blizzard City spent a huge price and placed high hopes on a cloned alien, but she actually had time to play? Li Lingxue said, from a biological point of view, her body age is only 10 years old. But from a life experience point of view, she is less than 1 year old. It is natural for children of this age to like to play. In order to ensure the healthy growth of the experimental subject, we must take care of her emotions. Zhang Yi curled his lips. You are really humane. Zhu Zheng and Li Lingxue did not care about Zhang Yi's sarcasm. Li Lingxue led the way and led the two of them to the depths of the Scientific Research Center. Li Lingxue opened a thick alloy door. What came into view was a patchwork of Death Barbie pink. This is a huge playground full of dolls and balloons, as well as various children's toys such as rainbow ponies. This is completely different from what Zhang Yi imagined. He thought that Juyu, as a killing machine cultivated by Blizzard City, must live in a place with cold metallic colors. Even the color tone is cold. But he didn't expect it to be such a picture. In the playground, a girl with long silver hair, skin as white as snow, and a porcelain doll-like girl who seemed to break if touched sat in a pile of foam toys, looking at everyone curiously. Zhu Zheng saw Juyu and smiled. Juyu, this is Uncle Zhang Yi. He came to see you. Juyu looked at Zhang Yi with her big eyes, and there was no trace of impurities in her amber eyes. There was only curiosity in her eyes. When Zhang Yi faced her, his whole body was in a state of combat readiness. Once this girl tried to attack him, or the instinct of tracing the tracks of all things detected her intention to attack, he would attack immediately. Even though he is now an Epsilon-level alien, Zhang Yi still can't forget the huge sense of oppression that the woman brought to him. Top alien, the battle between the two was originally a matter of life and death. The stronger he became, the more cautious Zhang Yi became. Because he realized one thing, even if he was an Epsilon, if he lost his concentration on the battlefield and made a misjudgment, then as long as he did not open all things in a short moment, he might be killed by a melee alien with only gamma level. Of course, this is only a theoretical possibility. But as long as there is a theoretical possibility, Zhang Yi is unwilling to take that risk. Zhang Yi looked at Juyu and narrowed his eyes slightly. With her condition, if you don't train her well, how can you let her fight? Zhang Yi glanced at Zhu Zheng and Li Lingxue. He suspected that everything that happened today was just a show for him alone. Li Lingxue adjusted her black-framed glasses and said slowly, her ability is very powerful. She can absorb the abilities of other people. As long as her level is high enough and she has mastered enough abilities, she will naturally have strong enough power. What's more, I'm just a scientist, not a martial arts coach. Zhang Yi looked at Juyu. Zhu Zheng was actually a little nervous. He didn't know what Zhang Yi was thinking. After a while, Zhang Yi said, I want to fight her. Zhu Zheng was shocked. Zhang Yi, this is not necessary? She hasn't made a breakthrough yet. How can she be your opponent? Zhang Yi said calmly, don't get me wrong, I don't have any ill will toward her. I just want to see how big the gap is between her and Yuan Kongya. By the way, confirm how much of a threat this girl poses to him. Chapter 1079. Huge Gap. Zhu Zheng still insisted. But she is just a child. Zhang Yi looked at him calmly, smiling, but his eyes were irresistible. A bullet fired from a child's gun can kill people just like an adult's. Don't worry, we are just sparring, I won't use heavy hands. Although Zhang Yi's tone was gentle, he did not leave room for Zhu Zheng to negotiate. If Zhu Zheng refused, he would not be trusted by Zhang Yi, and the foundation of mutual trust between the two would collapse. Zhu Zheng had no choice but to nod and agree. But you have to promise not to hurt her. Of course, I won't bully children. Zhang Yi promised. Of course, he would not hurt Juyu. He would only kill her directly when he felt that the girl was a threat to him. Zhu Zheng was very helpless, so he had to let Li Lingxue tell Juyu about this decision. Li Lingxue walked up to Juyu and said to her with a smile, "Little Juyu, this uncle wants to play a game with you. Just like dodgeball, you have to dodge all his attacks, and then use your ability to hit him to win." Juyu was confused. She didn't know what fighting was. These things were taught to her by Li Lingxue and other people who specialized in teaching her how to fight. In her opinion, this was just a game. On Zhang Yi's shoulder, Hua stared at the girl with strange eyes. Zhang Yi touched its head. If any accidents happen here, Hua will solve all threats in the first place. A beast with a superpower index of 9,800 points and the potential of Ypsilon is enough to sweep the entire Blizzard City. The two came to the depths of the Scientific Research Center. Martial Arts Field. After the defection, the Scientific Research Center created a new martial arts competition venue. The special materials used here can withstand the energy of Ypsilon-level aliens when practicing. Zhang Yi and Juyu stood face to face. All things in the world opened directly and surrounded the entire martial arts field in an instant. This space is full of his dimensional doors. Around Zhang Yi, dozens of dimensional gates formed a polyhedron barrier. The 60-fold space acceleration was activated, increasing his speed to the extreme. Tracing all things also locked Yuan Kongya. After making sufficient preparations, Zhang Yi stretched out his hand to her. "Let's start." Yuan Kongya's eyes were as clear as a spring. She slowly raised her right hand, and in an instant, a raging storm surged around her, and more than a dozen huge tornadoes roared and rushed towards Zhang Yi. Then, just a moment later, they all disappeared in the alien space. A hint of curiosity appeared in Yuan Kongya's eyes. "Is this the space system?" She flipped her white and tender little hand, and the air around her suddenly became extremely cold. Large pieces of frost began to spread to all the surrounding areas with her feet as the center. The cold air tried to find a loophole in Zhang Yi's defense and then eroded it. But it was also absorbed by the dimensional gates throughout the entire martial arts training ground. Juyu saw that the two attacks had no effect. The man in the distance did not move at all, but easily resolved all her attacks. She couldn't help but get a little impatient. So, she opened her hands and launched a more violent attack on Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi watched Juyu use multiple powers to attack him at the same time and couldn't help but think of Yuan Kongya. However, Juyu's strength is much worse than Yuan Kongya's. Her power index is about 9,900 points, and she may really be only one step away from Ypsilon. It can be imagined how much resources and efforts Zhu Zheng has invested in her. However, clones are just clones after all, and no one can use half of the genes to perfectly copy Yuan Kongya. Juyu's attack methods are like a baby's play in front of Zhang Yi, who is known as absolute defense. Li Lingxue and Zhu Zheng, who were watching the battle on the side, were well prepared and knew that Juyu was not Zhang Yi's opponent. But they didn't expect that Zhang Yi would deal with it so easily. From their perspective, Zhang Yi was just standing there, not moving an inch from beginning to end. However, all of Juyu's attacks could not get close to the space of 10 meters around him. They were not opponents of the same level at all, and the gap was too obvious. Almost. In Zhang Yi's heart, he already understood what this so-called imperfect clone meant. Maybe one day in the future, she will really become Ypsilon, but she is definitely not as good as Yuan Kongya. At least in the short term, she will not be a threat to Zhang Yi. "Let's stop here." Zhang Yi raised his right hand and grasped the void. The space of the entire martial arts training ground was distorted, and all of Juyu's attacks were instantly disintegrated. The entire space became quiet, as if nothing had happened. Juyu stared at Zhang Yi in front of him, her big eyes full of confusion. She didn't understand why the uncle who played games with her this time was different from the previous ones. Many of the playmates in front of him were torn into pieces, or turned into a pool of red liquid like magic. "Uncle, you are so awesome." Juyu smiled sincerely. Zhang Yi smiled faintly. "You are not bad either. Let's stop here today." Juyu nodded. "Yeah, then uncle, when will you come to play with me next time?" Zhang Yi laughed. "I will come to accompany you if there's a chance." He put his hands in his pockets and stepped back to leave the martial arts training ground. Zhu Zheng and Li Lingxue looked at him differently. Zhu Zheng was in awe, while Li Lingxue looked at a rare beast. "Captain Chaos, can you cooperate with my research? I really want to see what your gene sequence looks like now," Li Lingxue said to Zhang Yi very earnestly. Zhu Zheng heard this and quickly reprimanded. "Professor Li, this is so rude." Li Lingxue just realized that she was too abrupt, but as a scientific researcher, she really wanted to know how far human evolution could go. "Sorry, Chaos. But if you are willing to cooperate with me in research, I think we have a good chance of uncovering the secrets of human evolution." Li Lingxue still looked very serious. Zhang Yi smiled and waved his hand. "Sorry, but I am not interested at all." Zhu Zheng said to Zhang Yi with a trace of regret on his face. She was only one step away, but she couldn't get past that step. This really depends on talent. It is really difficult to achieve." Zhang Yi asked playfully, "So you let Jingwei follow me and try to get the source of God from me?" Chapter 1080, Visiting the Deng Family. Zhu Zheng argued, "I just thought that if you can get the source of God, then you only need to give her a little bit is enough." Zhang Yi shook his head. "She is not Yuan Kongya after all. But for you, having such a protective God is enough." Zhu Zheng looked at Zhang Yi seriously. "The most important thing is your attitude." Zhang Yi stretched, then smiled and said to Zhu Zheng, "You know, I have never been interested in the power struggle in Blizzard City. Whoever can bring me the greatest benefit, I will help. From now on, our cooperation is still very pleasant. If I don't support you, who should I support?" Zhu Zheng's face relaxed a little. Zhang Yi suddenly said, "By the way, can I pick up my supplies now? I have an appointment with Deng Yuanbua, and I will go to Deng's house later." Zhu Zheng's lips moved slightly, and he smiled. "Of course. Everything is ready for you. I originally planned to wait until the celebration banquet was over before getting it for you, but I didn't expect you to be so anxious." Zhang Yi said lightly, "The rule in our hometown is that we should go to visit after lunch, because this will not cause trouble to others. I came after dinner, so there is no need for a celebration banquet." Seeing this, Zhu Zheng nodded. He knew Zhang Yi's character. In the past, Zhang Yi would still be polite to him. But now, the status between Zhang Yi and him has reversed, so naturally there is no need to deliberately please him. "Well, then Xinqing, take Zhang Yi to get the supplies." Secretary Lan Xinqing came over and said to Zhang Yi respectfully, "Captain, please follow me. The supplies have been prepared for you, just waiting for you to collect them." Zhang Yi followed Lan Xinqing to the storage area by car. This is a military stronghold, heavily guarded. After getting off the car, Zhang Yi saw several familiar faces at the entrance of the storage area. They were aliens from the outer city. Zhang Yi had fought with them when he was besieging Eclipse Moon. He vaguely remembered their names, Chen Xiaoxiao, Peng Li, and Yuan Hao, but he couldn't remember the others clearly. Zhang Yi looked at Lan Xinqing. "Are these people also the nourishment of Juyu?" Lan Xinqing shook his head. "How could it be? They are all Delta-level aliens, and they are worth cultivating." He explained to Zhang Yi, "The combat power of Blizzard City has been seriously damaged. After several battles, many captain-level figures have also been lost, not to mention the aliens below. So, we need to supplement our strength from the outside world. Therefore, we will absorb all the aliens with potential when we find them." Zhang Yi was quite emotional when he heard this. "Don't you have any way to identify the talents of aliens?" For example, genetic testing. When he came to Blizzard City, he originally wanted to find out about this. In this way, he could test the people in the major bases of Tianhai City to see if there are any geniuses among them. For example, Lu Dahai is an alien who suddenly awakened. There are less than 20,000 survivors in Tianhai City, and those who survived are elites. Even those with the potential of Epsilon have a chance. After the end of the world, many people have extremely strong talents, but only 1 in 100 can successfully awaken and survive. There are always good horses in the world, but there are not always good horses. I don't know how many people with extremely high talents died in the end of the world before they had time to display their talents. Lan Xinqing shook his head. The end of the world has only been here for about a year, and various technologies are still developing and are not mature enough. So we can't make any identification. But the people above have realized this and started to focus on the excavation and training of the people below. Zhang Yi sneered in his heart. After the end of the world, Qinling City had a population of tens of millions, and 90% of them were eventually driven out of Blizzard City. Among those people, how many deltas and even epsilons were buried and died? Zhang Yi believed that there must be many such people. Just like him, if he hadn't been cautious again and faced various dangers, he might have died long ago. But now Zhu Zheng has also realized this problem and started to remedy it. Perhaps in the future, powerful aliens will appear in large numbers because of the attention from above. Zhang Yi got off the car, and Chen Xiaoxiao and others were leading the patrol. Now that they have come to Blizzard City, they are already middle-level officers. Seeing Zhang Yi, several people's eyes lit up, but then they thought of Zhang Yi's identity and saluted with awe. Zhang Yi nodded at them, as if he was saying hello to an old acquaintance. Chen Xiaoxiao and Peng Li were very excited. After Zhang Yi walked over, they smiled at each other. Zhang Yi, such a big shot, actually still remembered them. They all felt particularly proud in their hearts. Lan Xinqing asked someone to open a huge warehouse. The area of this warehouse is no less than the giant supermarket warehouse that was emptied by Zhang Yi. There are all kinds of supplies inside, as well as a large number of weapons and equipment, and even heavy weapons. Of course, these weapons have basically been eliminated in the army. It's not that the power is not strong enough, but because of its large size and heavy weight, it is not suitable for use in the Ice Age. At most, it can be used as a city defense weapon, but on the contrary, they can exert extraordinary power. Giving them to Zhang Yi can just bring out their greatest effect. Zhang Yi raised his hand without hesitation, and Sinlua Wanxiang instantly collected all the materials into the alien space and stored them somewhere in the 3,000 worlds. Lan Xinqing said, "We need to prepare the laser weapon technical drawings and materials and genetic drugs you need. We will send them to you later." Zhang Yi nodded. "I'm going to Deng's house. Please have someone wait at the subway station. I will take them away when I leave." "Yes, Captain Chaos." Lan Xinqing, who is as proud as he is, now completely puts down all his arrogance in front of Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi took a car to Deng Garden. Going to Deng's house was actually just a matter of convenience to warn Zhu Zheng. He can cooperate with any force in Blizzard City at any time. If Zhu Zheng betrays Zhang Yi one day, Zhang Yi will have the ability to support a new force to take over. But he never thought that after he came to Deng's house, he met Deng Yuanhua and Deng Shintong and got some unexpected gains. The two received Zhang Yi, and Deng Yuanhua took the initiative to talk to Zhang Yi about the Mist Valley Abyss. "I heard that you released a demon in the Mist Valley?" Zhang Yi heard this, and his hand holding the teacup stopped in midair. "Demon? How do you say this?" Zhang Yi asked indifferently. Deng Yuanhua would not mention this matter for no reason. There must be another reason. Deng Yuanhua smiled indifferently. "Our Deng family also has some connections in Shengjing, so we also know a little about the source of God. To be frank, we know more than the district." Dear viewer, this video ends here. Stay tuned for more updates. Please subscribe so that I can publish more videos, and also like and comment. Thanks.